Hi everyone, welcome to our walk-in pantry. We love our pantry so much. It was custom designed by my mom and made special, and it's just so cool, but it's not very tidy at the moment. So I'm going to tidy it starting with the lowest shelf. This is a great summer project for me. It only took one afternoon and was very satisfying. I started with some vegetables, potatoes, sweet potatoes, shallots, things like that. Started by wiping the shelf and spraying it as needed with a little bit of white vinegar dissolved in water. And I also, FYI, washed the cloth maybe every few wipes because I don't want to be spreading dirt around. I want to actually get rid of dirt. So that cloth, that microfiber cloth that you see me using, it's being regularly washed and scrubbed in the sink. I'm wiping down this other shelf, taking all the bottles out, giving it a good spray and wiping it down, making sure it's not wet, but any stains from spills and things like that, getting rid of them. And then wiping down some of the bottles and putting everything back. And for me, organizing, I guess I try to make it look nice too. So something that's a bit rumpled, like this pack of rice, I try to put it back in a slightly neater looking way. Some of these things like extra gardening supplies I put out of sight. We know where they are, but they're not within sight, so that the pantry looks nice. The bottles I arranged from tallest to shortest, simply because I think it looks more organized that way. One of the other shelves that I did next was a shelf with the matching baskets. My mom tries to use baskets that fit into the shelves and that are matching for each shelf. That really helps with organizing stuff. I'm taking everything out of these baskets and I'm wiping them down. Some of them need to be washed, so I'm going to wash them, and then I'm going to try and rearrange. These are some of our cooking supplies, our herbs and spices, the extra ones that didn't go into the freezer. These are here, like beans, things like that, just random stuff. So it needs to be organized so we know what we have, we know what supplies we have. I try to put similar looking bottles together. I try to put similar packets together, try to organize stuff vertically so we can see everything. We just have a lot of food and supplies because we cook a variety of cuisines. Like we have couscous from Mediterranean cuisine, we have some of these Thai green curry and chicken stock powders, things like that. So once the baskets are organized, I'm also going to go back to the shelf and organize some of the bottles that are sitting behind those baskets, extra bottles, and I'm also arranging them really from tallest to shortest, because I still think that kind of makes everything look so much more organized than if they were not tidied in that order. And I wipe the shelves and I put the baskets back magically. Then the next shelf that I did was the bottle shelf next to it. So again, it's a matter of taking out the stuff. What we do is we put things that we have excess of or we don't need to use regularly, like these glass bottles, we put them in the nook. That's like the overlap, so those kind of sit there and we don't have to see them, but we know they're there. Then I have things like garlic and onions. I'm throwing away the excess peel and just kind of tidying up. I know it's going to get messy again, but it's worth getting rid of these excess things like dirt and bits of onion peel once in a while. Wiping down the baskets, etc., putting everything back, kind of just organizing, putting things where similar things are. I'm taking out more baskets. Now these are a little bit dirtier, so I'm actually taking everything out of them and I'm going to give these baskets a good wash. They really need to be scrubbed with soap and water. And it may seem tedious, but I actually really enjoyed the time that I spent organizing the pantry. First of all, it's a really lovely pantry. I don't know, I really love it. My mom's design is so practical, and I found it relaxing. Like after doing a master's, after doing so much academic work and proofreading and referencing and things like that, I just want to do something tangible. I want to do something where I can work with my hands and feel things and see the results. It's so satisfying. I'm emptying out the last of the kosher salt from a large box so we can get rid of the box. That's something that has to be done when organizing. It really helps free up space, like things that are almost finished. We can transfer them to a smaller bottle, stuff like that. You can see I'm sort of playing around with the organization. I'm like these cranberries, I'm flattening them and turning them so we can see more cranberry and less of the plastic bag. These cans, I'm putting them together. I'm trying to put things that we use more often at the front, and the things that we don't use as often, I'm putting them behind. Like honey, chili sauce, those go in front, peanut butter, but things like extra chili sauce can go at the back because we don't need to access those all the time. Now these are some matching containers, plastic containers that my mom used. As you can see, she went with like a uniformity, like she made sure each row was uniform in terms of like the containers or baskets that we use. And she also tries to keep the pantry shelves relatively short, because if they're too deep, it's very hard to organize and hard to know what we have. So she believes in short shelves for the pantry and using things like baskets to make everything easy to take in and out. You can see that the orange round containers, like she had them since I was a kid, but they're still good and they look very uniform and organized. Here we have our beautiful mason jars. We find them so pretty. We don't really can food, but we keep herbs in them, spices, salt, curry powder, dried flowers, things like that. Now I'm going to the top of the pantry. I'm starting to take things down, but as I'm up there, I'm also organizing the pasta and instant ramen noodles, things like that. Those aren't very interesting, I think, but just straightening them and making sure they're a little bit tidier. As you can see, I have to step on an IKEA stepping stool and then on another folding chair just to get to the top of the pantry. I'm putting on some gloves because it's not very clean up there and I need to get everything cleaned out.
So I have gloves, I have toilet paper, and I have a vinegar spray. So let's get to it.
You can see there are like lizard poop bits all over the top of the pantry. So I'm starting out by using a soap spray. I'm wearing gloves and I'm using tissue paper, toilet paper to wipe off all of this, sanitize everything before I go in with my kitchen cloth, because I don't want to be spreading lizard poop and germs all over the rest of the pantry. Now these baskets go on top and I'm just mildly organizing them. I'm not being very detailed. I'm wiping down the basket handles and I'm putting everything back up there. And it took me a while because again I'm short and I had to climb up and down to organize stuff, and some things required a bit of thought how I would put them back in. I'm one of those people that takes a lot of things out and doesn't know how they should go back in. These are rubber bands and these are bread tags. We collect these things. I think it's common in Asian kitchens. This is our utility wall. We have baskets with gloves and rubber bands and all the random things we might need. So after organizing, the floor was a bit dirty, so I used a handheld vacuum cleaner just to run over everything. And I also cleaned our glass pantry doors. These French doors are so cute. I just love them. And when I'm in there, the dog gets confused. He wants to stare at me and try to find his way in. I don't know why. I'm using white vinegar diluted to wipe down the glass, and it seems to work. So this is the final result. This is what the pantry looks like after. I'm just so happy. It's not perfect, and it's definitely going to get disorganized again, but it was very fun to do. I feel like everything is so much tidier. So if you like this video, do like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more videos. Bye.